All right, kids, today we are going to talk about parallel lines. All right. Now, first of all, parallel lines mathematically are represented by this tall, narrow 11 kind of looking thing. Okay, so you'll see me use that symbol sometimes. You see it's down here too. Now, usually when I ask students, to give me their own interpretation of what makes lines parallel, when I just ask them to do it with words, they say, hey, lines that are kind of next to each other and they eventually say lines that never cross. And that's exactly right. Those are lines that never intersect, are parallel lines. Now, the next question is, what mathematically makes it so the lines don't intersect? And I hope you realize that that is the slope. If the slopes are the same, the lines are parallel. Simple as that. So in these two questions here, you see, are the following lines parallel? So in this first equation, it's in slope-intercept form, so you know that the slope is -2. In the second equation, though, you got to do some work. You got to solve for y. So you see I subtracted 4x, I brought this down, divided everything by 2, and I determined that the slope of the second one was also -2. So if they both have the same slope, then you see, yes, these lines are parallel because the slopes are the same. Now here, similar, the first one is in slope-intercept form. I already know what the slope is, -1/3. But this one, I got to do some work. I got to move the 3x over. I got to bring down the -9y, divide everything by negative. Now remember, a negative over a negative is a positive. So we actually get a slope of 1/3. Now these slopes look almost the same. They both say 1/3, but that's -1/3. -1/3 is clearly a different slope than +1/3. So this answer would be no, slopes are different. Okay. Down here, I'm going to just talk through this problem, and then I'm going to do a couple extra problems at the bottom. Graph the line that is parallel to y equals 3x minus 1 and passes through this point. So we're only asked to graph one line. We're not asked to graph this line here. We're asked to graph a line that's parallel to this one through this point. So I got to go to this point, -1, 2. That's right there. Remember, parallel means same slope. And that 3, that's a 3 over 1. So I go up 1, 2, 3 over 1, and there's my line. Now, we clearly see that this is the y-intercept of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could write it in slope-intercept form, y equals 3x plus 5. That's easy. I could also write it in point-slope form. There I'm using this point. Y minus 2. These are both equations of the same line. It's just a different format. Remember, how do you verify that this is correct here? If I took this 2 and plugged it in here, I'd get 0. If I took -1 and plugged it in here, I would get 0. The bottom line, folks, is parallel lines have the same slope. So if I asked you, here's another question, write the equation of a line parallel to y equals 2/5 x plus 2 through point 10 comma -12. There's a couple things you got to think about here. Okay, first, this point. This is just a plain old point. It's not the y-intercept. Okay, so I'm going to use point slope form. So that would be y minus a -12, so that would be y plus 12 equals. Now the slope. I know what the slope is. It's got to be parallel to this, so that means same thing, so 2/5. And then this would be x minus 10. And it'd actually be all set. Okay, that's it. Here's another one. Write the equation of the line parallel to 3x minus 4y equals 20 through point 0, 50. All right? Now remember, parallel means same slope, but you see, I got to figure out the slope of this thing first. So I got to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3x, bring the negative 4y down, divide by negative 4, and I get y equals, remember these negatives cancel, 3/4 x minus 5. So the slope of this is 3/4, so parallel to that would also be 3/4. Now we got to think about what form does the equation going to go in? Well, is there something special about this point? I'm hoping that you're going to say yes, because this is 0. If the x is 0, that means this value over here is the y-intercept. So we're going to use slope-intercept form. So y equals the slope 3/4 x plus 50. That's it.